Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Bible Breakdown Podcast with Mike and Law. I am Mike.
I'm Law.
For our first episode, we wanted to get into what this podcast is going to be, why we're doing it, what our goals are, and where we stand religiously to start off with.
That's right.
To start off with, we wanted to introduce ourselves. My name is Mike. I'm a self-described Christian. Law is my father.
I'm Mike's my son, and I am more of a agnostic, looking for the truth, looking to see what I can actually discover in the world, and grow a stronger bond with my son.
The reason I came up with the concept is there's kind of a hole in Christian podcasting where everybody who's talking about the Bible or Christianity as a whole generally is already an expert in it or already on their way to mastery of the topic, and they know a whole bunch of stuff. Guys like Wes Huff and all those other Christians, or even
But we want
other
to,
faiths.
but we want to reach out to those people like myself, and kind of like you
and
as
like
well.
myself as well. I mean, I'm a Christian, but I haven't read the Bible all the way through.
Exactly, and it's like me. I'm not saying that God does not exist. I'm not saying. I mean, to me, right now, the Bible is like a great history book, and I'm not saying that it's not correct, because it is correct. The Bible has got some amazing stories and some true facts in it. I just want to know what those facts really are.
That's fair. I'm coming from a perspective more of I believe Jesus Christ is who he says he was. He died for our sins. He is the Son of God. He was resurrected 3 days later. The whole biblical narrative, yes, I believe in it. And I believe in the physical evidence that I've seen, the fact that there's so much evidence and eyewitness accounts from sooner after Jesus died than Alexander the Great. We have more evidence of Jesus than Alexander the Great, and everybody believes Alexander the Great was who he says he was. So, the long story short, I that's why I believe generally, but I need to actually read the whole thing and get the whole story in all its context, really.
So, okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm more of the Old Testament guy. Because I've read more of that than I've read barely any of the New Testament.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mike, sorry,
Yeah,
you're more of a New Testament guy.
that is true. I'm fine with you calling me Mikey on here, by the way. I don't care.
Okay.
You're going to say it. I'm probably going to call you Larry.
That's
It's going to be what it is.
right. That's just gonna make it more natural. For us.
Exactly.
But I
Less
actually,
robotic,
you know
too.
what? I think that's more what it's gonna become. It's more like me being the Old Testament guy and you being the more New Testament.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just know that this is gonna be right.
I agree.
This is right for today's time, for yesterday's time, for tomorrow's time.
Exactly. There's nobody. It's to me, it's more of an introduction for the layman of like, hey, yeah, I know Jesus and blah blah blah.
I've heard of him.
I've heard of him, but I haven't read the Bible. Or hey, I'm interested in the Bible, but it all seems kind of intimidating. Everybody who's talking about it is some kind of expert, and they talk about it like they know everything about it, and I'm kind of intimidated. That's kind of how I grew up in the faith, so I kind of shied away from it for a while.
Right.
I've had a bit of a resurgence lately, but still haven't read the Bible, so it makes me kind of a not so great Christian, and it's kind of been weighing on my mind. It's the whole. You don't have to look at me like that. It's the whole book that needs to be read.
Right, I agree.
I mean, there's so many references to the Old Testament and the New Testament that you don't have any context for. That's
you
why
can't have the New Testament without the Old Testament. You really can't.
Well, obviously, because it's a fulfillment of the Old Testament. Anyway, so we have some goals that we want to accomplish for this podcast. My main goal is obviously the main goal is to read the entirety of the Bible in its entirety.
Right.
Other than that, my goal is to convert Larry to convert Law.
Okay.
And obviously read the whole entirety of the Bible, get a better understanding of the religion and what I think, because I'm more of a small R religious. I'm not really. I don't really
remember,
have any.
The meek shall inherit the earth.
That's taken way out of context. But anyway.
No, it really isn't.
It is very much taken out of context. We'll get there at some point.
we'll read that passage. We'll get there.
Yeah, and I'll show you. See, I told you. No. Yeah, and I want to use this podcast for good, to try to get, if I convert one person, or if I get one person to better their life by reading the Bible, that's mission accomplished for me. What kind of goals do you have?
My goals are to learn about how well. Okay, my main goal is to spend more time with my son.
Fair enough.
I mean, that's my number one goal. That's more important to me than anything, because I haven't been a very good father, but that's a whole different podcast.
Actually, it might turn into this podcast too. It might become a therapy session for us.
It might be.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff being revealed on here, I'm sure.
You're right, and that's very possible. But my intention, my biggest goal, spend more time with my son.
That's fair.
And to get more involved with something that he feels is important to him. And it's like, okay, you know what? If it's important to my son, then it needs to be that important to me. That's really really important to Now we're over here looking at these. I don't have my glasses.
You blind old man.
I am, but I'm still your old man, so
yeah.
Don't make me.
My old man and an old man nonetheless. Yeah.
Okay, I don't have my. Oh.
And yes, the overall goal for both of us is to build a better relationship as father and son.
Yeah, I agree.
On an interpersonal level, and then on a broader scale,
spiritual level as well, because we're all the sons of the Father.
Yeah, whoever that is, right?
Whoever that is.
I'm getting your opinion there. I'm trying to.
You're putting my input in.
Yeah, I know.
And I love that. That's why I think this is so important for today's society.
Well, another thing is, people with differing opinions. I mean, we have vastly different opinions on,
right,
religion and other things.
Right. I'm a huge Ancient Aliens believer.
Yeah.
But
I can be convinced. I can very much be convinced.
And so can I.
Yeah, but that's something that isn't happening very much nowadays. People aren't coming together for conversations and about big topics.
Thank you.
Because we were having this conversation off air, like, where does morality begin? Like, what is basic human morality? So, I mean, this could delve into stuff like that. It could just be pretty surface level. Well, what does it mean by the Nephilim? Things like that.
Yeah,
but the plan for us is to read one episode a week of the Old Testament, one episode in the week of the New Testament.
Yep.
That way we can start with Genesis and Matthew, and work our way through. In basically it's going to be the same amount of time, but it's going to feel like half the time. That way you get the Old Testament, the context for the New Testament, and then you get the New Testament, the actual gospel of Jesus Christ, and then that way it doesn't take 2 years to be like, hey, there's this Jesus fella.
Right. We don't want to wait.
Start that up right
away. We
don't
want to wait for the next 2 years for us to go through the Old Testament.
Exactly.
Just to find out, here, our Messiah's already been here and done left me behind.
Yeah, exactly.
The fuck, guys? You're not doing your job.
Yeah. Jesus has already come back like, hey, who's that guy who just descended from the heavens? I don't know. I didn't get through with the podcast.
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty loose. We're going to discuss whatever we really feel like discussing. We want it to stay pretty laid back. There's going to be a few curse words.
We're going to try not to curse, because, honestly, we want this to be to
accessible to everybody.
Everybody.
Exactly.
No, we want this to.
But that's also why we're going to be a little bit looser with the language. Not loose with the language, but looser, less
real.
More real. Yeah,
we're going to be real with all of you guys.
Yeah, we're going to be so real, guys.
Yeah. Let me smoke a bowl. No, I'm joking. No. I don't smoke. I really don't smoke. I did when I was a kid, but
it doesn't work out well for you. I've heard stories.
It worked out great for me back then. Yeah, this ain't back then.
That was back then, yeah.
Yeah.
But so we want to be a little bit more laid back and more accessible for people.
And be honest. That's all I want to say. It's like, let's be honest with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we all fall short of the glory of God, whoever that is, to keep it a little bit open-minded.
Whoever, whatever, yeah.
whoever,
Thank you.
whatever she is.
He is. It is. Whatever. I don't want to put labels. 'Cause I hate labels.
I mean, at a certain point, you have to label things, but we'll get into that at a later time. I'm
That's
sure.
probably going to be a different podcast because that's more political. I do agree that religion is, or
That's another.
politics is based on religion.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
another thing. We're going to try to avoid politics for the most part. I mean, politics is downstream of culture, which is downstream of religion. But for the most part, we're not going to get into the daily the daily politics.
Political views.
No, we're not going to get into any of that.
You're right.
At least not on this podcast. We might do like an after dark kind of thing where we get into our own personal stuff. But
Well, that's not what we're about right now.
no, I know that's what I'm saying. Like eventually down the road, it might be like its own like after dark episodes. Hey, what do you guys actually think? And Q&As and things like that. But for the podcast itself, it's meant to be accessible to everybody.
Right.
And you don't want to cut people off before they even have a chance to get to hear what you're saying. So we're not really going to reveal any of that.
Right.
On this forum.
You're right. And just because of who I was and background that I have, I want to bring people, as my son has said, bring people to opening their eyes. But I also want to use my experience from the music business to, it's like I asked my son via a text earlier today. I said, "How'd you feel about interviewing Elon Musk?"
If you could pull Elon Musk, I'd ask him many questions.
No, 10 questions. I give you 6. I'll take 4.
That's actually very fair. I'd come up with quite a few good questions.
6 questions. If you can ask 6 questions, you don't have to ask it right now.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But
unless he's listening, dear God, that'd be amazing. Hey, there's this new podcast I heard. One episode, and it's become the biggest podcast in the world.
That's one of my goals is to
that is a mighty goal.
To use my knowledge, my experience, and my expertise in the local. Should we say where we're at?
No, not yet. At least.
All right.
We're in Washington, but that's as much as you freaks are getting.
You're right. Actually, you know what?
I don't feel like getting doxxed.
Because I don't want to say that we're in one location, because you know what? We could be out at my property next week.
Yeah, your property, your undisclosed location property, yeah. With the bunker built in the side of the hill and all that other fun stuff.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah, the one we're building. I mean, we're not building.
No, we're not building that. Shut up, Mike.
What bunker? I don't know what's going on.
What are you doing?
Sorry. Yeah, so that's basically the rundown of what this podcast is going to be. Expect another episode out pretty quick. We're going to have the first episode is going to be Genesis, obviously. I mean, it is the beginning of the book, so that's where we're starting. It's going to be Genesis 1:1 and then Matthew 1:1 a couple days after that. And I hope you guys like our little dynamic here. It's going to be more of this, but more based on the Bible, obviously.
Right.
And find us wherever we have a podcast put down. We're going to probably make our own like social media account and everything like that here pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, we will.
And then try to be on Spotify, all these other
YouTube.
Eventually.
We're going to hit YouTube hard.
We'll see what happens. All right. Well, for the Bible Breakdown Podcast, I'm Mike.
I'm Law.
Have a good one.